Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Today I have another OU battle versus Gypsy King right here. This is a rematch because last time I didn't have my Altaria Knight. I'm not sure if it would have gotten me to win, but it sure as hell made a big difference. So he actually let me have a rematch versus him, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna keep my Altaria in because I want to show off a freaking Mega Altaria. But this isn't King Fluff right here, it's Queen Fluff. You know, Queen Fluff runs a whole different set, and it's just, she heard King Fluff slacking on a job, so she decided she want to come in, put in some work, and get everything done. So on this team, he has a freaking Mega Metagross. I know how Mega Metagross is freaking a problem to my whole existence, but Metagrossite might be getting banned. Most likely will be getting banned because Metagross is a freaking problem. He's a huge threat. He's bulky. He can set up agility. He has a whole bunch of coverage. But enough about this. We're going to go ahead and get right into the battle right here. So I decide I'm going to go ahead just lead off with my Weavile because Weavile is Weavile. That's one of my favorite Pokemon right there. Not too much of a fan of the shiny, but yeah, it's a Weavile. So he's going to lead off with this freaking Magneton right here. And I don't want to risk this thing being Choice Scarf and hitting me with a Flash Cannon. So I'm just going to go ahead and switch out my Weavile and go into my Slime Time. Because Slime Time can take pretty much anything this Magneton wants to go for. So he's going to go for Volt Switch, predicting my switch, which was a great play. And my Slime Time just not going to give a fuck right here. It didn't do any damage. As he's going to switch out this Magneton. He has to be. It's a Volt Switch. So he's actually going to go out into this Metagross right here, as I know this thing is going to be a Mega Metagross. Dear God, this thing is just so powerful. I'm going to go out into my Tentacruel. I hate dealing with Metagross because it's so strong. I went out in my Tentacruel because it does have some defense. I knew I could take anything this thing was trying to go for, especially if it was like a Meteor Mash to get a attack raise, as it shows off the Ice Punch, which would have completely destroyed my freaking Slime Time. But I also get credit by this freaking Mega Metagross. And now he's just going to take me out with an Earthquake. I was hoping that an Earthquake would not take out my Tentacruel, but it's a freaking Mega Metagross, and this is a Tentacruel. Earthquake is, of course, going to take out my Tentacruel. So I have no choice. I have to go out into my Azumarill. This is the only thing that can really take this thing on, as I know I can live one attack from this thing as long as it doesn't have Thunder Punch. And he's going to go for the Meteor Mash. And I'm going to hit this thing with the Waterfall. I'm going to hit this thing really hard because this is a Choice Banded Azumarill. That's going to knock it really low. I did not want to risk having my Azumarill go down. So I'm going to go out into my freaking Milotic to take an attack, thinking that if he does take out my Milotic, I can go back out into my Azumarill and go for an Aqua Jet to take this thing down. And he's going to go for an Earthquake. And my Milotic does take that very, very well, as he's going to go for Zen Headbutt this turn and do a heap of damage to my freaking Milotic, as I can just go for a Scald. I was hoping for the burn, as I don't get the burn, it barely misses the knockout, as he's just going to knock my freaking Milotic out with an Earthquake. So I could have went out into my Azumarill and went for Aqua Jet, but I didn't want the freaking, what's the name of it? I didn't want the Keldeo to come back in, so I went out into my Weavile, just went for a Fake Out, because I didn't want to play any games with this. Sure, this is not really a counter to Keldeo either, but I can knock off. But I did go straight for a Fake Out, as this Azumarill does come in, and it's going to take a small chunk from that Fake Out. So I decide I really have no switch ins for this Azumarill, so I'm just going to go straight for a knockoff. I do get a crit, and I knock out this knockoff this Assault Vest. And that crit really mattered because, well, no, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. I don't know about that, but it did not matter. But my Weavile is going to go down to a Play Rough. No, Weavile can take a Play Rough from anything because Weaviles are frail as hell. So I'm going to go out into my Slime Time, so I can just hit this thing with the Power Whip. I am physical, so that of course would knock out this Azumarill. And that's just the powerful ass moves. This Azumarill does go down, as now he goes out into his Hydreigon. So I calced it, and I know that my freaking Slime Time could take a Draco Meteor from a Hydreigon. That's Choice Scarf, as the Draco Meteor does do a whole heap of damage, but I do barely live that. And I'm gonna go ahead and go for a Draco Meteor of my own, and this freaking thing is gonna go down. Mixed Goodra putting in a whole bunch of work this time. Well, Mixed Goodra always puts in a lot of work. So this Hydreigon does go down. That's one threat out of the way. And that's just, I'm looking nice right here. So he does go out into his Keldeo now. I know that I was hoping that he didn't go for Icy Wind, because that could be a problem, as he just goes straight for a secret sword, and that's just going to take out my Slime Time. My Slime Time cannot take a freaking secret sword. So now I decide I'm going to go out into my Queen Fluff. This is the time to set up. Now is the time. So I'm going to go ahead Mega Evolve my freaking Mega Altaria. He goes out into his Landorus thinking that I'm probably King Fluff, because I did bring it last time, and he probably thought I wanted to show off King Fluff. But this is Queen Fluff. She's not a Dragon Dance variant. She's actually an Agility variant. And I'm going to go ahead get an Agility off, and I'm going to start out speeding all of his team. And this Landorus is just looking confused, like, when did you learn Agility? So I'm going to hit this Landorus with a Hyper Voice, and it's going to go for an Earthquake. And this Earthquake knocks me way low. It knocks me down to 23 HP. And I figure out that it's a critical hit. And that just made me sad. So I figured that I could probably go for a Roost, get some health back, as Earthquake will not do too much damage. But this is a bad play. He could have gotten another crit. He could have gotten a high roll. It could have ended out very poorly in my favor since I went for the Roost, as I do just live that again. I'm looking bad right here. And he also gets leftovers, so if I would have continued that, then he probably would have been able to survive a Hyper Voice if it was a low roll. But I am able to take out this Landorus. So speaking about rolls, this Magneton does come in. I have to go for a Flamethrower because that's the only thing I can hit this thing with. And I get the high roll and knock out this Magneton. If I didn't get this high roll, this Magneton would not have gone down. It would have taken out my freaking Altaria, and that would have been game. As now I can just go for a Hyper Voice versus this Keldeo. It does not matter if it's Choice Scarfed or anything because of the Agility. And Agility freaking Altaria is putting in a lot of work. So this freaking Megatron looking mofo right here is just going to come out, and I'm going to Hyper Voice this thing. Thank God it did not have Bullet Punch, because if it had Bullet Punch, it'd be able to take out my Altaria and my Azumarill. And that would have been game right there. That would have been very unfortunate. And that's a good game, Gypsy King. That was actually a very good battle. If anybody wants to hit up a battle with me, then go ahead, comment. Follow me on Twitter. Y'all already know my Twitter, @ArterisVI. And you can challenge me there, because I'm pretty much on there most of the time just scamming. I don't post tweets that much. Only probably when I'm about to make a shiny giveaway or something, or if something bothers me, like how I just posted about Mega Metagross and how it's just so strong. And it's just yeah, if you want to battle, then go ahead, hit me up right there, whatever, do all that. And thanks for watching.